I know it seems silly, but I wish somebody would have told me this before I started carrying my gun every day. Okay, whether you are a seasoned everyday carry individual or you are new to carrying a firearm every day, one thing that we should all consider is what to do if we run into the situation where we have to use the bathroom and we are carrying a firearm. I know it seems silly, but I wish somebody would have told me this before I started carrying my gun every day. And if you carry long enough, I promise you, you will find yourself in this situation.
1/2 teaspoon for fast, effective relief.
So here are my top 3 tips that I would say you need to consider before heading out your door and you find yourself having to run to use the bathroom while carrying your firearm. But before we get into it, if you like everyday related material such as gun reviews, holster reviews, gun belt reviews, anything everyday carry related material, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. So my first tip would be to have a plan of action. I'm not saying you need to map out every single bathroom from the place you start to the place you end. What I am telling you is to have a plan of action. If I'm going to be taking my family from North Fort Worth to East Dallas, which we rarely do, but if I were going to do that, I know it's going to be a long drive. There's going to be tons of traffic, and I may find myself in that situation where I'm going to have to use the bathroom. And so I am considering in my mind possibilities of places I could stop and use the bathroom. So my first tip would be to have a little bit of a plan of action. Know where you're going as far as the possibilities of stopping. Some really good places to stop are gas stations, larger retail stores that provide more of a private bathroom using experience. Just keep in mind, have a plan of action. You don't need to have every bathroom mapped out. Just know that there are better places to stop than others, such as gas stations and larger retail stores. One thing I would tell you under this tip is do not ever take your firearm off and leave it in your vehicle to go use the bathroom. Number one, someone can break into your car and steal that gun, which happens all the time. And number two, we want to try to keep our firearms on us at all times as much as possible. Tip number 2, find a private bathroom if possible. Gas stations are a very good opportunity to have privacy where you're not having to share one of those stalls that are up to your kneecaps and people can kind of see everything that's going on. They usually give you a key and you can lock the door and have your complete privacy and not have to worry about anyone seeing that you're carrying a firearm in the first place. Another good place for those is larger retail stores. They usually have family style bathrooms where you can go in there and just have an individual bathroom and no one see what's going on and you don't have to worry about someone seeing your gun. So tip number 2 is try to find a private bathroom. That's where tip number 1 also plays into. Kind of plan it out a little bit and know that gas stations are a very good opportunity to stop and have your privacy if you do have to use the bathroom. Tip number 3 is this is where I'm going to say if you do find yourself in that situation where there's no other option, you get to a bathroom and it is one of those big shared bathrooms and the stalls are up to your kneecaps and there's really nothing you could do about it and you just don't want people to see your gun. I mean, you just don't want that to happen where you pull down your pants and your holster and your gun flop onto the floor and everyone that walks by can see that you're carrying a firearm. Not a good idea. So what do you do if you do find yourself in that situation? Well, I'm going to tell you what not to do first. Do not take your gun out of that holster and do not take the gun with the holster off and place it somewhere behind you or in the bathroom where you could easily forget about it. It happens all the time to people where they take their gun off. It happens to police officers all the time when they have to run to use the bathroom, take their gun off, leave their gear down and they forget about it and they go out the door and they leave their gun behind. Do not do that. What I would say if you do find yourself in that situation is keep the gun obviously in the holster at all times. Never take it out of that holster. Keep it in there. It's safest in there and you just don't want any possibility of anything happening where that gun goes off. So keep it in your holster. Take it off the belt if it is going to be showing when you pull your pants down and put it inside of your pants and it creates kind of a little hidden area for you and no one's going to see that. You know, your holster's in there, it's secure, the trigger's secure, your holster's safe, it's the safest place it could be. I'm really want to stress the point that yes, you could take it off if there's a shelf in there and put it there if it's in front of you, but the possibility of forgetting it just happens. I mean, it happens to the best of us. If you're distracted enough, you will forget that firearm. So make sure not to take it off. Make sure to keep it. If you can, just drop it in that area where you could hide it inside your pants there, keep it in the holster, and that would be your best bet. A bonus tip, if you are using a urinal and you are a guy, I would tell you try to keep carry before you go in there, or if you can, just have a safe practice of carrying around 1 o'clock if you're carrying appendix carry. If you're carrying on the side, it's really not going to be an issue. And try to think ahead when it comes to the proper clothing to wear. Make sure you have a zipper. Makes it a lot easier when you're having to use a urinal, so you don't have to take off anything. And try to carry around the 1 o'clock if you are doing appendix carry. All right, guys, so that's it. Just top 3 tips that I would recommend before going out and heading out that door and you run into a situation where you just have to use the bathroom. There's really no hope, and you don't know what to do. I know it seems silly, as I said in the beginning, but it's something we do need to consider. We should be considering all kinds of weird scenarios as everyday carry gun owners, because eventually you will run into something like that. If you haven't already, I promise you, you will. So keep that in mind before you head out the door. Just have a plan of action. If you can, find a private bathroom. If you can't, make sure to keep that firearm in its holster and on you, and just drop it into your pants if you need to, if you think someone's going to see that firearm around your legs. All right, guys, I appreciate you stopping by to check out this video. Go check out some of those older videos. There's some awesome content there, and we do have some amazing other content coming out, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you on the next one. God bless.